I voted for Trump not once, not twice, but 3 times. Now, I'm not left-wing, period. But I believe our leaders should bring out the best in us, not the worst. That's why I'm voting for Kamala Harris.
I want to know why you support Kamala.
Kamala? Because I think she's a better option comparative to Donald Trump. We can reference her policy, the $6,000 child tax credit for the first year of a child's life, $3,600 through them being 5 years old, $3,000 through them being 18, $25,000 tax credit for first-time homebuyers for new homes, $2,000 cap on pharmaceuticals out of pocket, $35 cap on insulin per month.
What about the other stuff that's going around the world that actually matters? Stuff like men going into women's bathrooms.
Like Donald Trump barging into the changing rooms of girls in Miss Teen USA because he quote-unquote owns the place to inspect them
Donald
without their
Trump
consent.
does not want men using females' bathrooms.
Is that why he barged into the changing rooms of girls in Miss
Donald
Teen USA?
Trump does not want... No, that...
Bro just played himself live on camera. He came in swinging about bathroom safety and somehow walked right into a recorded confession of the exact same thing he was complaining about. The tape exists, it's not edited, it's not out of context. The man said it himself and laughed about it. The fact that this argument still gets made in 2025 tells you everything about how deep the denial goes.
That's why he's getting rid of men using females' bathrooms. That's just weird.
Really? Do you want to hear this clip?
What clip? Go ahead, play it.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting.
Right,
I want to make sure that
You're like
everything
a
is
doctor.
good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
You are for Trump, right?
Yeah, Donald Trump.
We are for Trump, too.
I'm for Kamala.
Oh, for Kamala?
Yeah, for Kamala.
But how come you have Make America Great Again?
What are you talking about? Trump said that communism is going to be the new way of a democracy in America.
No, he didn't say
he said that. He said that.
I heard everything that he said.
Right, he said that.
If Kamala take power.
Well, he said that we're going back to communism because that's the way the world should work.
Hey, my name's Kyle. I'm a lifelong Republican from Alabama. I voted for Trump twice. I started to move away from Trump towards the end of his presidency, but I still held my nose and voted for him. Since then, he's been nothing but a disaster. Picking J.D. Vance just really solidifies my decision to vote against Trump, to vote for Democrats. I voted for Nikki Haley in the primary, and I'm going to be voting for Kamala Harris. That's the right choice for America in 2024.
If you could pick one word to describe the state of the economy right now, what would that one word be?
All f***ed up. All f***ed up.
That was a diehard Trump supporter here in Florida at this gas station after he filled up his tank at the price of $4.29 per gallon. Gas, just one of the expenses that's skyrocketing as the war in Iran continues with no end in sight.
It's crazy, bro. Right now I'm paying $2,600 a
This is the part nobody wants to sit with. A man with a pregnant wife paying $2,600 a month just for rent, no bills included, struggling to survive, and he's been told to be patient because apparently we're respected across the world again. Respected by WHO, though, because the bills are still due on the 1st. The grocery store doesn't care about foreign policy optics. Real people are skipping meals, and this is the reality behind the bumper stickers.
month for my rent, you know what I mean? And that ain't no bills included. You know what I mean? Like, this is really hard. My wife's about to be pregnant. She's due in about next week. And it is extremely difficult.
We spent all day asking Floridians to describe the state of the economy in just one word. The reviews are in, and they're brutal. If you could pick one word to describe the state of today's economy, what would that word be?
A tragedy. Sad. Disappointing.
It's not the way it used to be. I don't know, man. It's like survival right now. Everybody on survival mood right now.
Desolate, yeah. It's bad.
Now, while some of President Trump's most ardent supporters say that they're willing to put up with these crazy high prices and are in support of this war in Iran,
we voted for him to be, like we say in Spanish, somebody with cojones, you know what I'm saying, with some balls to get in there and be daddy. Take the belt, put everything in action, because now you can see that we are respected across the world again, right?
most of the people we spoke to say they wish President Trump was focusing on issues back here at home as they struggle to make ends meet.
I struggle every day, and now I'm taking care of my mom who's older, being denied simple things like breathing meds. So gas, what are you going to do? So I don't eat this week because I have to take mom to the doctor's tomorrow. And I'm not the only one. I know a lot of people in the same situation, homeless, no place to go, no shelters, no food, no medical.
All of this as gas prices continue to rise as the war in Iran spills into its second month.
Do you guys remember when last year Kamala Harris warned that if Donald Trump won, we would enter a recession by the middle of this year? Yeah, it looks like we're ahead of schedule.
Well, the companies pay the tariffs, not us. What's one of your biggest issues? My biggest issue is...
This one actually hurts to watch because he genuinely doesn't see it coming. Small business owner, sells merch, blanks made overseas because domestic ones cost $20 each. Now tariffs are hitting and he's about to find out that the cost doesn't disappear, it travels. Straight through the supply chain. Directly into his prices, directly into his customers' wallets, and when customers stop buying because everything costs more, that business closes, and that man loses everything he built. This is the real tariff story that no rally ever explained.
It's probably going to be inflation because I'm a business owner and it hit me hard because I sell T-shirts and all that stuff.
Your T-shirts are made in the USA?
No, my blanks, no. See, that's the problem. They're not because a blank in USA cost me $20. I can't afford that. But see, that's the thing Trump's talking about. Manufacturing. All these companies have sold out over to the sweatshops. If we tax them, hit tariffs, the same item they're making over there will cost the same to make over here.
We pay the tariffs.
The companies pay the tariffs, not us. Anything.
China doesn't pay the tariffs. We do when they come in.
No, it doesn't work like that. No, whoever's importing is paying the taxes, man.
Do you think that? Do you believe that?
No, because I was trying to say, because I sell merch as well.
So if I sell you something for $10, right? And then you're going to sell it to him for $20.
Exactly.
But then I make you pay me $15 for it. Are you still going to sell it to him for $20?
Am I going to sell it to him for $20?
If I raise the price $5.
Oh, it's going to have to go up.
Right.
So the consumer foots the bill.
Who pays the tariffs?
Foreign countries pay the tariffs. Okay. And let's talk about...
No. Wait, we're talking about tariffs. So the product comes in from China, it gets on a ship, right, and then it comes in, and I'm the American manufacturer. I'm going to use that stuff from China. Who paid the tariff on it?
The Chinese government pays the tariff.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. You're thinking because you're paying more for that product. Because the Chinese product...
It's going to be more expensive. It is.
But look what's happening now, guys. You go to Europe. I travel to China often. I travel to Europe often. You don't see like a Buick in China. But you see these Asian, you see these BMWs, Audi, and all that. Why do you think?
I really need you to understand is who is paying the tariff?
20 years in importing and exporting, and he still had to spell it out 3 different ways. The tariff sheet is real. It's law. The American importer signs it and pays it. China doesn't cut a check. They just sell you the product. You pay the surcharge when it crosses the border. Then you raise your prices. Then we pay more at checkout. This isn't complicated economics. This is basic retail math. And the fact that this is still a debate explains so much about why bad policy keeps getting voted in.
The government that is manufacturing that product, is all we're saying is this. Look, I just want it to be even. Instead of us paying 400% of tariffs. How you doing? Hey, good. I want to.
I'm an importer and an exporter for 20 years.
Okay.
When a product comes into the U.S., there's something called a tariff sheet.
Okay.
I, as the buyer of that product, follow U.S. law and pay the tariff.
I think a lot of people have actually exposed themselves when it comes to their real position on Palestine and their support for Palestinian people since Joe Biden dropped out of the race. But seeing as how Americans always prioritize comfort rather than actual change in their country, I personally am not surprised. And I think that it's really disrespectful and actually really embarrassing for a lot of you to keep claiming that you care about Palestine, the Palestinian people, that you care about the mass unaliving of a group of people, and you're willing to quickly change your support to support a candidate who clearly does not care about Palestinians, who's accepted money from AIPAC, and who's literally been the right hand to the administration that has been integral to allowing this to happen, that has not hesitated to send 1,000-pound bombs to obliterate a civilian population with no army. So I think a lot of you need to stop pretending. I think it's cool to appear to be leftist and whatever, but
She went there, and honestly, she had every right to. The second a more comfortable option showed up, the Free Palestine crowd quietly updated their support. And look, voting is complicated. Nobody's saying there was a perfect choice. But you cannot spend months performing outrage about a genocide and then switch the moment it becomes politically inconvenient without someone calling that out. Comfort has always beaten conviction in this country. She's not wrong, and the silence after she said this speaks louder than any protest sign.
a lot of you are not in for the long run. And that's fine, but I think that a lot of you really need to get out of this circle of people who really are in this truly and with their entire being.
Not Kamala whacking Nicki.
So how do you feel about Nicki Minaj's falling victim of misinformation?
When we disagree with someone, take that into account. We may just not be working with the same information. Challenging people about what they think the facts are, about the fact that 2 + 2 will always equal 4.
Recently sat down and said that she thinks that Nicki Minaj is a victim of misinformation and disinformation and how 2 + 2 will always equal 4. Through Barb fashion, they wasted no time coming Kamala Harris's neck, even though I personally don't feel like she said anything that bad. That seemingly caught social users off guard. I know a lot of people are claiming that Nicki might be doing this out of spite because Kamala had Megan Thee Stallion come out for her rallies and had Cardi B speak at one of her rallies.
Trump says.
But I don't know if that's necessarily the case. It seems like Nicki Minaj might be doing this to get ahead, or maybe doing this to get some paperwork pushed and pertains to other situations she might have going on. Curious to see how this is all going to pan out and if Nicki's going to actually benefit from going to these rallies and speaking at these summits, because something tells me they like to renege on their word. I don't know, that's just my personal thoughts. Personally, I feel like it caught people off guard, and the way she was going super hard about it really just put a bad taste in people's mouth. I'm curious to know what y'all think regarding this. Let me know down in the comments. Peace.
Because Donald Trump currently looks like Michael Afton's rotting remains inhabited by Ennard doesn't mean that his administration has stopped lying. In response to the courts claiming that Trump's apocalyptic tariff regime is unconstitutional, because it is, the White House has suddenly gone, well, actually, we've made $8 trillion in tariff revenue, launched hundreds of thousands of new jobs, along with a clearly very old picture of Trump by this point. He's currently entered his Springtrap era. Funniest thing is that in that same post, I was able to find a graph representing the real numbers. Actual revenue from tariffs so far is about $115 billion.
$8 trillion claimed versus $15 billion actual. That's not spin. That's not exaggeration. That is a fabricated number released officially, hoping nobody checks. And here's the deeper problem. When the person at the top who was good at selling the fantasy is no longer able to run that media campaign, you're left with interns slapping graphs together and praying the base doesn't do basic math. That kid at school who said his dad was an astronaut and a Navy SEAL. Same energy, same desperation, except this time it's economic policy. Not a school cafeteria. The administration is flailing, and the numbers prove it.
You, that being money which is mostly extracted from the American people because tariffs are just a tax on American consumers. That's how much they've made. This is how much they've claimed they've made. Giving a level of desperation that not even Trump himself would try and pull. But Trump, by the looks of it, is incapacitated to a certain extent and no longer able to lead up the media campaign of pushing these tariffs and convincing voters. The radicalized interns in Trump's administration has just been told to slap together a bunch of graphs and just make up something that sounds good. This is so easily fact-checked and so unbelievably far-fetched a claim. I don't understand why they would even bother releasing it. Say 500 billion, say 800 billion. Why would you say like 8 trillion? Like that one kid at school who swears that his dad is both an astronaut and a Navy SEAL. Feels very much like the behavior of a flailing administration, that they know how rudderless and how screwed they might be if Trump is no longer able to be the hype man that they need for their deranged, psychotic policies. Prime Trump could bluster his way past questions about how they came to a stupid number like that, but J.D. Vance will be asked about a number like that, and he'll just fold. That's what I mean when I say that MAGA are screwed without Trump. Follow for more.
You voted for Kamala Harris?
Camilla? I like Camilla because she was...
Why? Why? Because she didn't do nothing for the economy?
Camilla was in the UK. She was with Charles. Remember that?
Jesus Christ, you're stupider than a fucking log.
You talking about Buckingham Palace?
Buckingham Palace has nothing to do with America.
But Camilla lives there.
Kamala Harris doesn't live in the Buckingham Palace. The royal
Camilla
family
does.
She doesn't. No, the Buckingham Palace is the royal family.
Dog.
Dog. Don't call me a fucking dog.
Camilla lives in Buckingham Palace, dog. What are you talking about?
Oh my God, you're fucking ignorant.
We're mispronouncing her name, so she shouldn't offend it. If you said
palace.
Kamala, you would know what you're saying.
Okay, Kamala.
Oh yeah, I know who that is. Kamala. I know that.
So let me get this straight. Kamala Harris ran for president, and she didn't get the job because y'all didn't vote for her. So now she's a private citizen because when she ran for president, she didn't get the job because y'all didn't vote for her. She's on a book tour.
She said it slow. She said it clearly. She said it 3 times like she was talking to children. And honestly, She kind of was. You cannot protest a private citizen for not fixing a war she has zero authority over, while the actual sitting president was literally a few blocks away at the UN with zero protesters outside. That's not activism. That's misdirected energy wrapped in a good Instagram caption. The cognitive dissonance here is loud, and she named it perfectly.
As a private citizen, because when she ran for president, she didn't get the job because y'all didn't vote for her. And y'all are showing up to said, no, not just showing up, paying to go to said book tour with money that you could donate directly to Palestine to protest and demand she do the job of the president, which she doesn't have because when she ran for president, she didn't get the job because y'all didn't vote for her. Mind you, the UN, which Donald Trump was at, the current president, in case you forgot, was a couple blocks down the street. Mind you, Coachella was a week or so ago, which Donald Trump, the current president, was at. However, I don't recall seeing any protests at either one of these events. Right. I'm going to hold your hand with a napkin in between when I say this. I need y'all to reconsider your reasoning because this is making less sense than J.Lo made when she tried to sell out that little concert tour. Y'all are never beating the racist and misogynoir allegations. Quite an incredible, unserious bunch. Hope this helps. Peace and love. Talk to you later.
Who will you vote for in 2028?
I hope J.D. Vance will win.
J.D. Vance or Kamala?
I don't believe in a system that was not created for a black man in the first place. That's your answer.
J.D. Vance or Kamala?
Kamala.
Who will you vote for in 2028?
Nobody can be as good as Trump, but probably J.D. Vance.
J.D. Vance or Kamala?
Kamala.
Why Kamala?
Why? Is there even a choice here?
Who will you vote for in 2028? J.D. Vance or Kamala Harris?
She's not smart enough to be president.
Who will you vote for in 2028?
Kamala.
Who will you vote for in 2028?
I will vote for J.D. Vance.
Who will you vote for in 2028?
Oh, I'm not into politics.
Who would you vote for in 2028?
J.D. Vance, probably.
Who will you vote for in 2028?
J.D. Vance.
J.D. Vance or Kamala?
I give up.
Actually, I think if I had to pick right now, I would pick her.
If you had to pick right now,
I would.
But
yes.
is that you changed your mind since I asked the question a minute ago, or that's where you're more strongly leaning there? Is there what's missing? If there's a missing link to get you to absolutely, what is it?
This right here is the most honest moment in the whole video. No performance, no talking points, just a former Republican voter sitting with the uncomfortable truth. He voted one way, watched what happened, and is now saying out loud that she was the better candidate. That takes something most people don't have. Actual intellectual honesty, foreign policy concern is valid. Nobody's saying she was perfect. But when a Trump voter from 2020 is leaning the other way and calling it a big deal, that's not rage bait. That's a real shift happening in real time, and it matters.
That's a tough question. I guess a lot of the foreign policy is really my biggest concern, but overall, I think she is a better candidate.
Okay. And you're a registered Republican.
I am an independent.
You're an independent now.
Yes.
Who'd you vote for in 2020?
I voted for Trump.
You voted for Trump.
Yes.
So if you vote for Harris, in the math, that's a big deal.